Need more help or just want to show your support? Then head over to my Patreon and join my team, where you can get exclusive content like ebooks and bonus plays, as well as early access to my vids and more. Link in the description below. Alright, welcome back YouTubers and Madden fans. This is MADDENMONEYSHOT bringing you another Madden 19 preview video. Today we're going to be going over the top 5 things that have changed the most from Madden 18 to Madden 19. These are the top things that you need to know about before you pick up next year's game so you can get a head start on all your competition. Now the number 5 thing that I want to get out of the way, I wasn't even sure I was going to put in this countdown, but I would say the look of it, the control of it. These are things that Madden suggests that they change pretty much every year. How the game looks, how the game plays. But there are a couple of things that I found while preparing for this video that I actually think were pretty unprecedented, some new improvements that EA has made. Most importantly, in the run game, there's a new function called hit the hole, where basically if you run up against your blockers, there's not a lot of holes to be found to run through. You can flick your right stick towards a smaller gap and skip through a smaller hole. Now this here in the past, it's much better compared to the past, where typically you run your blockers, the play's over, you just kind of wait for a defensive player to tackle you. Now with this new function, you have an even better chance to keep the play alive, which I think is an amazing addition to this game. It's going to make running the football even better. It also has another function called push the pile, but I'm not as wild about this. This will help out in 4th and short, 3rd and short situations to push when the play's dead. But I don't really think that it's going to have a lot. I mean, basically, this still basically owns the fact that the play is dead, and you won't be able to keep the play alive like you will be in hit the whole function, but it still have its purpose around the goal line, like I said, 3rd and short, 4th and short, stuff like that. Now, as far as the catching animations, they made some improvements to that. They gave you an ability to high point a pass, which I know they had high point throws before, but now they seem to put more user control on it. I'm not really sure how this is going to pay off, because to an extent, they also point out some of the negatives, which you can drop balls if you don't accurately time it correctly for when the ball is getting caught, more specifically in rat catching, which sounds to me like they're kind of decreasing rat catchings. Rat catching is a little bit overpowered. I do that on pretty much every play. I might not be able to do that anymore, but you're not going to be able to just simply rat catch every ball. Now you're going to have to pay attention to the position of the ball. So we're going to see how that works out. But overall, you know, that's something they might be working back a little bit. The graphics are supposed to look way better. They made some adjustments to animations with the quarterbacks, more specifically. You know, the mannerisms of the quarterbacks are going to be very specific to the quarterbacks that they're modeled after. There's going to be a lot of little things in the graphics that make the game feel more, you know, more complete. The thing that I think will really step this game up a notch will be the celebrations that they're introducing into this year's games. Celebrating, showboating has always been a part of the game, but once you got into the end zone, you really didn't have much choice on what the player did. Now you have the ability to choose how your player celebrates, which I think is awesome. Team celebrations is really getting pushed by the regular NFL, and now Madden is kind of following suit. But you basically, with the right stick, have the ability to choose what type of animation your player does. You can do a team celebration, a group celebration by hitting the right stick up. If you hit the right stick to the right, you spike the ball. Right stick down is a signature player celebration, like say you have, you know, Gronk will do the Gronk spike or something like that. Right stick to the left is a dance, and then if you click your right stick, which is also R3, you'll get a swagger steal, a signature animation from an opponent's your opponent's team player. So say you're playing against, you know, Ray Lewis or something. I remember T.O. did that back in the day. T.O. did that with a lot of people back in the day. But you know, that's a really cool addition. I think that's going to really make the game fun. I'm not really much of a showboater. I never really was. I just don't want to give my opponent fuel. But given the score, you know, who knows? I might be pulling those out. It also might not always be available. I see that if you're, it says if you scored a key moment. So who knows? You might not actually get to do it whenever. I'd like to do it after sacks and all that stuff, because that's what they do in the NFL. But they're not going to let us go that crazy. Maybe in the future though. Next up, they made some serious changes to how you improve your players in CFM. They took away the ability to basically choose where you spend XP. They took away XP entirely. Now you basically have kind of like you would have in a role-playing game, where you have different archetypes and you choose which direction you want to improve your player. This here could be a good thing, because I know in previous years past, the XP system has been pretty much abused by players in CFM. So I don't know if this is going to be good to take away control from the user or not, but we're going to see. This is going to be definitely an interesting year to find that out. I personally remember when they first introduced the XP system, it was even worse abused the first year, because they had no idea how far players would go to abuse the system. I mean, the record books were just out of control. People were throwing for like 30 touchdowns in a game and all kind of crazy stuff just so they could jack up their favorite player. So, you know, this could be a good thing, but we're going to see. I'm curious if it will by taking away control, because I kind of miss that. I kind of like control. I remember back before they even gave control, they used to upgrade the players automatically and you had no choice. You just had to go out and find those players. So we'll see how this works. And last but not least, MUT is introducing something pretty similar. You're going to get training points now with the ability to upgrade individual players similar to CFM, which is basically where this comes from. CFM started this. MUT players that come over from CFM, they want something similar. I get it. My one concern is, well, two concerns really. Hopefully when you're doing these training exercises, you're still getting coins, because you don't want to sacrifice getting your whole MUT team behind because you're spending your time working up one player. And the other concern is how long it's going to take to work these players up. Think of LaDainian Tomlinson. If you didn't do LaDainian Tomlinson right out the gate, you probably never got him to a 99, which I never did. I think I got him to like a 94 or 95 before I just gave up on him. And it wasn't worth it. Even at that point, all the money that I spent on upgrading LaDainian Tomlinson, I could have just bought a better running back. You know what I mean? Like at some point, the juice is not worth the squeeze, and hopefully EA has figured that out to the point where they make it that it's easy enough to upgrade these players that you like, but also at the same time, by the time you get there, that it wouldn't have been easier just to get somebody else for your time. Alright, so that's it. That's the end of the video. If you want to see more videos on Madden 19, do me a favor, hit the like button. I'll do that. Other than that, thanks for watching. Madden Money Shot out.